And we're back for one more show of the Neighborhood News. It's Tuesday, 7 o'clock at night. Channel 95, we're back for one more of Neighborhood News. If you are watching this show, and if it's not a Tuesday, it's because you are watching a repeat show. So please come back next Tuesday at this time, 7 o'clock, and you will be watching a brand new show. With me, I have Bernadette, my co-host, and we have some guests. And before I introduce the guests, I want to one more time thank CJ for being on our show last week, and thank CJ again for about a year ago. I walked into the studio and CJ said, Carlos, I need a check from you, and you are member of the Toastmasters. And I was like, Toastmasters? I never heard such a thing. Yeah, but now you know. You are a member of the Toastmasters. So, okay, so what I need to do? You just need to check it out. You need to stop at the meeting. And okay, so, and that's what I've been doing for the past year. And with that said, I'm very happy that I have two from the board directors, pretty much. Over here, I have Mike, the president, and Sean is again?
I'm the club mentor.
Club mentor. I know what and you're gonna hear and learn a little bit about the Toastmasters, but it's just because they are on these seats right now, that doesn't mean that they're going to keep the seats rolls into everybody that belongs to the board, and we're going to learn a little bit about more about that. But I, just like you, I didn't know what Toastmasters is.
I'm clueless right now, so I'll be listening.
So you were like I was a year ago when CJ just gave me sign in here, and you are the member of the Toastmasters.
Right.
So let's dive by the president, and I have to say that you are pretty much on the end of your term. You served this year.
That's correct.
So my first question for you is Toastmasters. What is Toastmasters?
Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that is literally internationally all over the world, and it's geared to help people learn how to speak, be more comfortable speaking in public or private settings, and also to develop leadership skills. So that is the Toastmasters plan of action all the way around, and we in Fall River are a charter club. So the Fall River Innovators is our own little club, a little section of Toastmasters. But there's actually different clubs all over, all over the state. It's within probably a 20-minute drive. There's about half a dozen, I believe.
So we do have Toastmasters around us?
Yes, in different areas, but we are obviously, for anyone in Fall River, Westport, or probably even Swansea, whatever, we are definitely the closest one.
And how big is this clubs?
Ours in Fall River?
Yes.
We have, what do we have? We have a little over 20 members, which is actually really good for being a first-year club. So we haven't even finished our first year. We chartered for the first time in July, and since starting the club, we had members come in and check it out, and we've had more people joining and enjoying what's going on, and we're actually getting quite a few people who are coming, seeing it, and becoming members because the potential is really making a difference. I mean, I know for myself and many of the members of the club, there's just been a tremendous improvement in their speech. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm the president because I was elected to help run that club, not because I'm a master speaker, but I have heard, even just the last few weeks, how my speaking has improved quite dramatically, and so I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, and I approve of that because on my first speech, I don't know how many so's and ums I did, and so those numbers coming down. So it's like makes you think before you speak, so you don't use those empty words, or we call it fill-in words.
Yep.
Sean, I know you already changed a couple of times your duties on the club, and now you're a mentor.
Yep, my job as the club mentor was basically I was assigned by the district to come to Fall River Innovators and to help them as an experienced Toastmasters to get the ground running. I've been with Toastmasters for 8 years. I'm actually a member of multiple clubs. So I came here as the mentor to help the board, Mike and his other officers, to really expand the club, to continue the growth. I'm supposed to be for the first 6 months, but I made a commitment to Mike. I'm going to stay around for the first year. I want to make sure that this club is successful, gets off to a great start, and they're doing that. They're off to a great start. Really impressive club. So I'm happy that I've stuck around. Hopefully I'll be with the club for much longer. But right now I'm the mentor to help them get going and understand the ins and outs of Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm. And with this learning of speech, they put you into contests. And I don't know which one wants to talk about the contests, because I know that the club has contests.
I actually helped run the first contest at Fall River Innovators. We just had the first contest a couple of months ago. It was a table topics contest, which is a fun contest. Table topics is a session at Toastmasters where people just get to come up and speak impromptu. We ask them a question, and they have 1 to 2 minutes to answer it. So in a contest, everybody gets the same question, and the winner is decided by whoever gives the best answer. And we had a great time. We had about 3 contestants, and it was a lot of fun. And the contests progress to higher levels. We have the area, the division, the district. We're still running that contest right now. The district conference is coming up, and that will be where the division winners will compete for the district crown. At the same time this year in Fall River, Innovators didn't do this, but we also have the International Speech Contest, which is a contest where you can basically speak about anything. Typically, it's usually an inspirational, motivational type speech, but this is the only contest that goes to all the clubs all over the world, with the final round being done at our international convention, which is actually the World Championship of Public Speaking. It's a huge honor to be to win that. Anybody that has won that title, and in our area we've actually had 3 winners in the past, you can easily turn that into a public speaking career, and people will be calling you for to come and speak at their events, because it's a huge honor to be named the world champion of public speaking.
One of the things that being part of the club that I've been learning too is if I have 3 minutes to do my speech, I want to stay on the 3 minutes. And you know how Portuguese people love to talk, right? So that really tells me how I have to just say what I have to say it in that period, in that time.
Right.
And Mike, can you please share with us the agenda? We have, when the members gets into the meeting, we get an agenda, and that agenda is everybody that's going to be speaking on, and the times and all the different topics that we're going to be talking. And Mike, can you probably, I mean, we don't have an agenda in front of us, but can you pretty much tell us what is an agenda of a meeting? So if I'm going to attend the meeting, what I'm going to be attending.
So like you said, when you come and visit, you'll get an agenda showing how we've broken down the times, because like you said, it's not just the 3 minutes of that one speech, but it's how to organize an entire meeting. I mean, I'm sure you've gone to conferences or learning sessions and they go like 5-10 minutes over, or speakers getting warning signs. Because when you're trying to run so many things, you can't let everybody go over, but you want to get everything in the meeting. So by having an agenda, we know that, okay, as president, I open up and I get about 3 minutes. I have X amount of minutes for a business. Then I hand it over to the Toastmaster of the evening. And that person, that's one of the roles of leadership that runs the meeting. They introduce the next speaker. They stay on time to let everyone know when they're going over or whatever, which we very, very rarely get, because we actually have a timer. That's one of the roles. And it's just, I think, Carlos, you were one recently. It's really simple. Here's the time. You run the stopwatch, and you show a green card when you've reached the minimum, and a red card when you hit the maximum. And okay, it's time to start wrapping it up. And so the agenda shows us Toastmaster now takes over and introduces. Then we have speakers 1, 2, and 3 typically. Then from there we'll have the table topics master take over, and they'll do, like Sean said, come up with some impromptu questions for people who weren't planning on speaking and don't have another role. So if you want to, kind of get outside your comfort zone or have to think on the fly, because like you said, right, those filler words come from people trying to think fast. Like I used to speak really fast, and I'm trying to get all the information through. Well, that helps you because now you don't have a prepared speech you've been working on for a week or two. It's like right now you have to answer this question. So you're trying to process what to say, how to put it together, and how to do it with the lessons you've been learning. And so once that phase is done, usually those are really, really fun because you get all sorts of questions, a whole spectrum of different questions. From there, then we have an evaluation session of how everyone did for time, how the grammarian measures how many people use the word of the day, which is a challenge to use. Like galvanized was last week's word. I've heard it, didn't know what it meant. It's like, here's the word, here's the definition, try to use it whenever you come up. So now you got to throw that in there, and then, see, I still say, we work on it. The first time, I remember, we don't count them anymore. We don't tell people these numbers when they do like this, but I had like 70-something ums and so's and likes. So I have dramatically improved, and I'm very thankful for what it's offered. But I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for the evaluator sessions, which said back to me, hey, you had a lot of these. And I was like, well, how many? And 76. Okay, I need to work on that. So I learned, that taught me to slow down, and then not only were my thoughts more cohesive, but then I was pausing less and using less of those words. And then I didn't sound like a bumbling fool when I was talking to business people or whatever too, which was the goal. The ums were the main reason I started, and I've learned so much more about how to structure a speech and have a conversation and stuff like that. When it's all said and done, we wrap up with closing remarks, any business we have, and that pretty much wraps up the evening, and then we just hang out and talk after that.
So, and what we do in the club is pretty much, I signed up already for a couple of things. I did the icebreaker, and I did the table topics, I believe, and then I did evaluator and the timer. So it's all different. During the meeting, it's all different duties that you can this week pick up this, next week pick up something else, and that rotates for everybody. One thing that I like particular about the club is the sense that it is college students there. So you are pretty much in a class with college students that you can learn a lot from them, and it feels like that you're in school, and you have this people that you learn with them. Sean, first time that I saw already the table topics different ways. But I have to say that you brought a different way to do it to the club, and when I used mine, I kind of copied because I really liked it the way you put it. That you ask pretty much what did you want, what question you want, and then or what type of question did you want, and then you pick a number, and that number is attached to a question, which you stand in front of the crowd and you don't know what the question's going to be, and you're going to have to answer the question. But so
it makes it a lot more challenging, and it's definitely a lot more fun doing it. And that's the thing with table topics is you won't see the same thing done every single time. I go to different clubs all the time, and table topics can be ran in many different ways. And the thing is, you want to make it fun. You want to make it so that people will participate. That's really the goal of the Topics Master, is to say, okay, how can I get the most people out there to answer these questions, still have fun, still help them build their confidence to be able to speak off the cuff. And so that's all the things that the Topics Master is doing. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. It's makes the meetings a lot more enjoyable when people want to participate. And
rotating the jobs pretty much makes the meeting never be the same. Like you're not going into a meeting that's going to be the same as last time, because it's the same. The agenda follows the same, but the people are doing the agenda,
it different.
make it different
the different
because they have different stories. They have,
right.
and one of the things that we really get to know a lot of people, and Mike, I can bring this back to you, is the speech. Because we have the first, the second, and the third. It's any particular reason why we have on this order, the first, the second, and the third?
Do you mean on the agenda or in the book?
Yes, on the agenda.
No, we try to fill up anywhere between 2 and 4 speakers every week because that is the crux of finishing one of the books, the Competent Communicator, which starts with the icebreaker, like you said. It just gets you up there. For the people who are like terrified, it's like, get up there and talk about your most knowledgeable subject, yourself. Just talk about yourself for 4 minutes or whatever. And that's it. No one's there to judge you or throw rotten fruit. We're just there to get you out of that.
Right.
From there, it's organize your thoughts and work in your filler words and don't rely on notes and stuff like that. But it's all step by step by step. I saw some people who have been in Toastmasters for, I think they were in for like 8 to 10 years. I mean, they'd gone through the book like 30 times because they just wanted to make sure they really knew. You know, when we get to the district level, there are people who've been there for so long. And it was really just a challenge to get so many people who are interested in the club. They want to do their speeches, they want to move forward. So we try to get 2 to 4 every week. And sometimes we have a speechathon. So we already had one, we're thinking about having a second one, either on that meeting or on a special meeting for those who are trying to sign off in their books and achieve some of the awards that they have. It's just speeches, so none of the table topics we're not going to have. We also have a humorist or invocation, kind of food for thought when a speech. So we'll kind of cut out all the extra stuff and just focus on get the speech, get the evaluation, so people can move forward. Because we've been able to focus on that, and I've had an amazing board of officers who have really helped move the club along. We actually have someone who is complete. He's already completed his competent communicator. He's about to clear his advanced leadership as well, basic and advanced leadership. He's just moved so fast. And he's going to get what we have, what we call a triple crown, which is very rare. In fact, our club, it's weird, I feel like I'm patting myself on the back, but our club has done really, really well in the fact that in our first year, we already had our first contest. We have a triple crown, which some clubs who have been around for years have never had one. We have 1, possibly 2 coming up.
Wow.
And possibly, we'll see, but definitely have 1. And we have, what was the other thing? The competition that, we've reached the Distinguished Club Award. There's actually 3 levels. Again, most in their first year struggle just for membership or whatever. We have surpassed the minimum requirements, going up. We have hit Distinguished Club, and we're actually moving up to level 2 of Distinguished Club.
Yeah, Select. It's called Select.
Select, thank you. And number 3 is President's Select Club, which is an international thing. And that one we haven't quite gone there yet, but the year's not over, so
Right.
we're still going to push.
It's a lot in the first year. For a brand new club to even get one person to complete the Competent Communicator Manual is an accomplishment, because you got to think that one person has to do 10 speeches in a year. And if you have a membership of 20 members, people are all want to speak.
Right.
Everybody at Fall River has at least done their icebreaker, and so they all want to go and keep doing speeches. And that's why we have so many speeches per meeting, is because they're all 5 to 7 minute speeches. Everybody wants to get a chance to get in there so they can keep progressing.
Right.
And that's the thing that is so encouraging about the Fall River Club, is that there are so many people that want to give speeches. I'm a member of multiple clubs, and it's like pulling teeth sometimes to get people to speak. Sure. There's empty slots, and you're trying to fill them in. Never have that problem with Fall River. Everybody is like, I want to step up, I want to speak, and that's great that, again, a triple crown, it's a lot of work. You're talking about 10 speeches, completing a leadership manual, which is 10 projects, multiple roles within those projects.
Wow.
So that's a lot of work. And then you have to get an advanced award, which an advanced award, if you do communication, that's another 10 speeches possibly. Or the advanced leadership award means either serving as an officer, which I think that's how the one member is going to get their advanced award, is they served as an officer this year and did some other speeches as well. So it's a lot to do in 1 year. I've actually done it. This will be the 4th year I've done a triple crown. But I am a member of 4 clubs.
Right.
So that's the only way you can get it consistently, is to get up and speak as many times as possible, do as many leadership roles as you can, and then but so for a new club to be able to do that, that's very impressive.
Let me ask you this. If a person that watching us and want to become a member, what they should do?
Come visit our club. Yeah, come visit the Fall River Innovators.
So
the club is open to the general public. Basically they would come, check out the meeting, see what it's all about, speak with our club officers to answer any questions they have. Typically, we sign up members for, depending on when they sign up, usually on a prorated basis, because usually memberships go for 6 months, but if you're halfway into the middle of our current cycle, we'll only charge you for that amount to the next period. But typically, we go 6 month cycles, so you pay twice a year. Very reasonable. I mean, I think most clubs are under $100 a year. I mean, that's, for what we offer in Toastmasters, that's a great value. And it's a great experience for whatever a person is looking for to improve, whether it just be, to build confidence in themselves or to become a better communicator, or maybe there are some leadership skills that they want to work on that they won't ever get that opportunity where they're working, or if they're a college student and they want to get some leadership experience before they get out there in the real world. Toastmasters is a great opportunity to do that.
And it's good to have that on the resume, that you were part of the club.
Yeah.
So if the person wants to try, they can try 6 months, right? They can sign up for 6 months. And I know with that, they got all the books that they're going to be keeping records of.
Yeah, all new members get 2 manuals when they start. The 2 manuals that we talked about was the Competent Communicator Manual, first 10 basic speeches projects, and then the Competent Leadership Manual, which is, again, 10 projects. Both manuals are the basics of public speaking and leadership. So if you complete both of those, the reason we say you're competent is because you've learned the basics, and now you can move on and learn some advanced communication and leadership skills.
And Toastmasters are located right on downtown?
385 Columbia Street.
385 Columbus Street. The meetings are held there. CJ, thank you. On the control room, already put it there. The second and the third Thursday at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. The meeting actually starts at 6:30. 6 o'clock is for us to munch something. So they have
a little social half hour.
They have something there with somebody's appointed. Every meeting signs up to bring some before the meeting. And then the meeting starts at 6:30 and runs 6:30 to 8, I believe, right?
We're usually done by 8. We try to finish early if possible.
So, but it's all time. Another thing that I forgot to mention is it's very, very important is the word. I think it's very important that the person never really heard about this word and what this word means, and trying to put that word into their speech. And we have a little bit of fun too with the 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes, right? The humorous.
We have a humorist that usually comes up and gives sort of like a funny story or a joke.
For some people, it's a challenge because they don't think they're too funny, but they put their name down and they do their best, and then sometimes they do the job good.
Sometimes we have some really funny stories. I mean, the one part of the program too that we didn't talk about yet is the evaluations. Every speaker that comes that speaks at our meeting gets an assigned evaluator. And the evaluator's job is to listen to the speech, to watch the speaker, and then to give an evaluation feedback so that speaker can know what things they're doing well and how they can improve. And that's really the model that we teach in Toastmasters about giving evaluations is give them some positive information. What are they doing good? What are your strengths already? And then how can they become better? We never criticize. Criticize is sort of like a 4-letter word in Toastmasters. We want to give you advice on how you can become better. And that it's really important. I love being an evaluator because it's a gift to give that person that information to say, you know, this is what you're already doing very well, and now this is how you can get better. And that's how we learn, and that's how we improve, and that's really the magic behind Toastmasters, is how people can improve their communication. We do that with every speaker gets that evaluation. They get a written evaluation that they can take with them, but then the evaluator will also come up during the meeting and give a short 2 to 3 minute speech evaluation of how the speaker did. And that's really important as well, because they can get it right away, that instantaneous feedback, so while it's still fresh in their mind, oh yeah, I did that, and that, oh, so I should keep on doing that, stop doing that, or maybe I can do it a little bit differently next time.
And then you do like me, then I sign up to evaluate one person, one speaker, and I get up there and I evaluate all of them. So I put all that work into it.
It's actually interesting, as you evaluate someone else, it turns around, you end up evaluating yourself, or it helps you improve your next speech. Because you're like, oh, I remember when I heard them say this or do this, and now I'm doing it in my own speech, or I noticed I did it when I was standing up at the front, or whatever it is. You know, the evaluations are really the key to the whole thing, because if not, if you're speaking and you don't get any feedback on how to improve, then you're just talking. You're not actually learning, you know, but the evaluation is really the crux of it. And like you said, we don't criticize. We're not up there to rate you on how good or bad you did. We're really there to just say, here's how you improve. And it actually helps the evaluator learn as well. How do I find out what they did right? And how do I tell someone, even if I didn't like what they said, how do I find the good in it? Because some people don't know how to find the good. Some people are really good and don't know how to say negative things to people. It's like, well, it's not negative, you're giving room for improvement. Okay, and when the heart is really to help that person, the evaluators get
even the audience members, even if you're not giving the speech and you're just there and watching and listening, just hearing the evaluations and hearing, you can start to understand, oh, wow, that's how I could do it, and that's how I can improve. So everybody, regardless of whether you're taking a role or not, just going and being a part of the meeting, you're going to learn just by being around
and evaluating
people.
a speaker, it's so much than just evaluating what that we heard, but positions, how they walked on stage, how they posed themselves in front of the microphone, did they use the whole space, you know, so all that becomes part of, sometimes we trying to evaluate somebody and we say, oh my God, I do the same thing when I'm up there. So it's, we kind of evaluate ourselves too. But I think we're getting into the end of the show. We released a lot of information. I hope that that you know, people come in to the Toastmasters and become members. And
love to have
them.
them.
Is there a Facebook page? Because you know the world is all about Facebook today.
There is the Fall River Innovators.
There you go.
We have our Facebook page and website.
Very good, Sean, Mike. Thank you for coming, and I'll be there Thursday. And see you guys next week.
Have a good night, everybody.